Hello again. To further explain our previous topic, I will add in another example. This will be our example number 2. A car covers 200 meters while increasing its velocity from 20 meters per second to 30 meters per second. Compute the acceleration. As mentioned last time, to find the answer, you first need to list out the given. So, a car covers 200 meters. That means that is the displacement. So, our displacement is 200 meters. While increasing its velocity from the word from, that means it is the initial velocity. 20 meters per second to 30 meters per second. So, our final velocity is 30 meters per second. Since we are looking for the acceleration, we're gonna put A and then put a question mark next to it. Okay, so that's it for our given. The next step, we're gonna find the formula for this. To find the formula, we need to go back to our equations and find the equation that we need. Now, to find our equation, let us first list out our given once again. We have the displacement, which is d, our initial velocity, which is vi, and our final velocity, which is vf. Lastly, we're looking for the acceleration, so we're also gonna put a. Now, we need to find the ones with displacement. So let us cross out those that do not have one. And as you can see here, three of our equation has displacement. Since the first equation does not have displacement, we're going to cross it out. Next, we're gonna find the initial velocity and cross out those that do not have initial velocity. Since all of them has initial velocity, we're not gonna cross anyone out. Now, for the final velocity, only number 2 and number 3 has final velocity. Lastly, we're gonna find our acceleration. Since equation number 2 does not have acceleration, we're gonna cross it out. And now, we have equation number 3 as our final formula. Okay, now that we have our formula, let us go back to our problem. Let us list out again our formula, which is initial velocity squared plus 2ad is equal to final velocity squared. Compared to our previous example, this one is more tricky. That is because we're gonna make use of something called transposition. We're gonna transpose our formula, our values, so we can get the final formula that we're gonna use to solve for what we need. So as I have mentioned earlier, we're gonna make use of something called transposition, which is just simply combining values that are the same. Like the first one. Here we are combining like terms, Vf and Vi are both velocities, so we're gonna transpose Vi. And take note that in transposing, when you transpose a value, it will change signs. For example, here, since initial velocity is positive, when we transpose it, it's gonna be negative. So we now have final velocity minus initial velocity is equal to 2ad. Since we need acceleration, we're gonna divide both of them to 2d, which will leave acceleration. So now we have our final formula, which is a, or acceleration, is equal to final velocity squared minus initial velocity squared over 2d. Now, since we no longer have any space left, let us move on to another page. Here, we're gonna finally solve and substitute our values. Once again, write down our formula, which is a equals to vf squared minus vi squared over 2d. Through substitution, we now have 30 meters per second, close parenthesis, squared minus open parenthesis, 20 meters per second, close parenthesis, squared, over 2 times 200 meters. Let us then multiply our values. 30 times 30 is equal to 900 meters. Squared, since m times squared is m squared and s times squared is s squared. So we're gonna put m squared over s squared minus 400 meters squared over s squared. These will then be divided to 400 meters, which is from 2 times 200 meters. After that, we're gonna subtract 400 meters from 900 meters, which will leave us with 500 meters squared over s squared. This will then be divided to 400 meters, which will give us 1.25 ms squared. Now, how did we get ms squared from m squared s squared and ms squared s squared? As usual, we're gonna use reciprocals. So we're gonna have m squared over s squared multiplied to 1 over m. So we're gonna cancel the like terms and we are gonna be left with ms squared. So therefore, if a car covers 200 meters while increasing its velocity from 20 meters per second to 30 meters per second, its acceleration will be equal to 1.25 meters per second squared. So that's it for this topic, and I hope you understood. I hope you understand more about physics now, about horizontal motion now, and I hope this video helped. Thank you and subscribe!